Yeah, hello YouTube. It's another day. Yeah, we have a laptop here. It's a HP. I think it's a HP 15 or something. Yeah, this is a HP 15. And this laptop does not have any issue. Actually, the laptop is working fine. And let me see this charger, whether the charger is having some voltage here. Okay, I think I'm on a wider range of the multimeter. I think I'm supposed to be at, yeah, so that we get the charger is giving us a 19.2, which is very okay. Yeah, so this laptop came from a client. This one belonged to a client, and the problem with this laptop is a bit slow. Let's try to see how this laptop is behaving after we switch on the, let us switch it on. Yeah, so this is a topic actually I decided to talk about today because a lot of people have been asking me what could be the issue with the laptop doing this, doing that, laptop not working fast, lagging behind. And I thought maybe I should talk about this problem. Yeah, so sometimes your laptop will become slow because of several factors, especially when you are running a Windows 10, Windows 8. You will find that your laptop will start becoming slow because of several factors. And I just want to state a few here and there. So Dean Graduate School, I think the owner of this laptop is a dean at a certain school, a certain university. So actually, when this laptop came, it was more slow actually because we switched it on with the client. And actually, it was not this fast. I think it's after I did some several things and the customer was still not satisfied with the speed that was here. And so I decided the machine to be left with me so that I can work on it further. So I think what you're going to do with this one, we are going to do some several upgrades that involves the hard disk, the SSD, replace the SSD. Okay, like swipe the hard disk with an SSD and also upgrade the RAM. We're also going to put a new operating systems and try maybe to do the upgrades, and we'll explain why we are going to do that. So I think one of the things that will make your laptop lag behind is some application that may be in your computer. Some applications in your computer are taking so much resource. So they are intensive applications that is taking a lot of resources from your computer. And so you can first of all figure out which softwares are doing that and maybe try to stop them or maybe get rid of those softwares. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Also, the other problem that can have your laptop to go slow is you opening many programs at once. You are opening a Word, maybe you have a browser. In browser, you have many tabs in that browser at once. So it's important to switch off or stop the application that you are not using and those that are not very important to you. Okay, also when working online, if you are working with an outdated browser, your laptop is going to go slow. So always make sure that you are updating your browser to the current version or to the updated version so that you can stop having a slow speed on your laptop or a sluggish speed on your laptop. That one you can go by going to the top button there at the settings and go to about the software and maybe try to click something on the about, and you are going to see the version of the browser application you are using or the browser software you are using. So always try to do that. So as you can see, the laptop is still going slowly. It's still at the trying to welcome us at Dean Graduate School. So Now, I don't know whether you are going to eat for this one, but I think we will try our level best to. Yeah, so I'm going to rush this video. There's no way we are going to wait for this laptop for all that long for it to open. But I just wanted that maybe you can take enough time so that you can understand how slow this laptop is. I'll speed up the video when it's time to post it, because I know this might be some time for a lot of us here. But anyway, let's try to see how long this laptop is going to take to. So the laptop is actually very slow. And you understand the client who brought this laptop now, it has become an issue for her to work with the laptop. And you can see now it's open. Yeah, so I think if I'm not going to forward the video, I think you can just do that yourself. On the other side, you just need to skip some few items there and go to the other point so that we can. So you can see now the laptop is open now. And the thing is here, I want us today to talk about what are the things you can do to your laptop to make it a bit fast or a bit quick. And I don't know why my camera is not focusing. Let me switch it on or switch it on again. Yeah, now it's focusing. So what can you do to make sure that this laptop is not lagging behind? Or maybe now the time that I have wasted all that time waiting for this laptop to come on, you can imagine what you could have done with that time. And suppose you have a client, maybe you're in a workshop or maybe you're in your business and you have a laptop. It's in the morning, you just enter the shop, client is just waiting for you outside there, and come here and you want to remove something from your laptop or to get something from your laptop, and so you plug in the charger and switch it on, and it takes all that time. What do you think will happen to the client? A client will start becoming impatient because of that speed. So this is what I want us to check today, to see how we can try to make this sluggish, or how to fix Windows 10 lagging, or Windows 10, Windows 11, which is a bit slow, or any other Windows actually, because the factors we are going to touch here, they can be used by all other laptops. So one of the things is to ascertain why your machine is slow. It is very important to know why is your machine slow, because you might end up saying it's RAM, it's the processor, it's the hard disk or the SSD, but you're not sure, because those three could make the laptop to go slow. The storage, which is the SSD, the random access memory, which is the RAM, and the processor. Those are the three culprits that are so common when as far as matters slow or fast are concerned. So the first thing you need to do to ascertain what is giving you that problem is you go to the task manager. I don't know whether you can see this, but maybe you can just come here and go to this search button here and say task. Okay, let me show you a simple process here. Maybe let me try to bring this laptop a bit up here. You see my mouse, my mouse is here. Try to come on the task manager here and right click on that task manager. I mean taskbar. This is a taskbar, the one that is down here. And then you'll come to the task manager here. Yeah, the window pane is going to be bigger now. We can use it here on the machine here. Okay, so let me try to zoom out a little bit so that we can see this together. Yes, so you can see I'm in task manager. You can see this is task manager. We have processes and we have the performance here. I click on this performance here. Oh, sorry. Let me click on this. You can see here we have the processes. This is the processes, and we have the performance. I hope you can see that, or should I bring it a little bit closer to you? I think there is enough. Okay, let me see where you can see clearly. Yeah, I think here you can see clearly. You can see processes. We have the performance. I've clicked here the performance. And what you are getting from this performance here, maybe if I try to bring it a little bit closer, so let it focus. Yeah, there is okay. You can see the CPU. The CPU is being utilized at 1 or 2%, 0.87 gigahertz. So the CPU is very, very free. You can see the RAM. This laptop is utilizing a RAM of 4 GB. The 3.9, of course, it can't register the 4 GB because of the some cache memories, or okay, it will just register 3.9, but we know it's 4 GB. For sure, we know it's 4 GB. And you can see the RAM is being utilized at 56%. I don't know whether I have to point this for you. Check on there. This is the CPU now going at 29%. You can check the RAM here going at 56%. But let us try to see the hard disk. What is happening to the hard disk? The hard disk is being utilized at 100%, and this is telling us the hard disk is struggling to function on this laptop, because being utilized 100%, definitely we expect the laptop to struggle, because the whole hard disk is under utility. And this is telling us the hard disk has been totally utilized, and maybe is surpassing. Maybe it's even looking for something like 101%, which we don't have. And now when the hard disk is overutilized, the machine must be slow. And we can tell this is a hard disk because we can see here it's a HDD. If you see here, this is a HDD as a hard disk. So this is not an SSD. And also you can see the GPU, the integrated graphics card is being utilized at 0%. I hope you can see that. So for sure, we know the hard disk here is the issue, because you can see the 100% is the utility that is being undertaken by this laptop. Okay, we're also going to check on my laptop here, the one I'm using right now. So let's go to the display here, and let us see what is happening on my. So remember the process I've shown you to do. Now here it's going to be very clear because this is on my laptop. You come here to the task manager here. Okay, not task bar, this is the task bar. Right click, come to the task manager, and then go to performance, and then try to see what is happening. Now I'm going to maximize, because now here you can see it very clearly. Look at my CPU, it's going at 69%. The memory is 42%, and remember mine is having 16 gigs of RAM. The CPU is a Core i5. Are we able to see that? And you can see the CPU is being utilized at 66%, and the RAM at 43%. Look at my SSD. Mine is not using a hard disk, is using an SSD. The local disk C is being utilized at 0%. And the disk, because I am having two SSDs, the other one is being utilized at 1%. And the GPU, the internal graphics, and the internal graphics card is being utilized at 1%. And the dedicated one, the GPU one, this is the dedicated, you can see is NVIDIA GeForce 9. Which number is that? NVIDIA GeForce 940 something, is being utilized at 52%. So let us try to ask ourselves, why is my machine utilizing more of processor, more of memory, and more of NVIDIA graphics card? It's because I'm recording this video as we talk right now. So the video is using more of my processor at 69%, my memory, my RAM, random access memory, at 42%, and the GPU at 39 or 40%, because recording is involving a lot of processing, RAM, and graphics card, because it's a video. And you can see the graphics card that I've given this work is the dedicated NVIDIA GeForce graphics. NVIDIA GeForce 940MX is the one I've assigned the work of. When I'm recording, I like this one to be utilized because it's a bit stronger, and I'm going to have good quality of my video. So we can tell my machine is a bit healthy, only that the processor is a bit busy, because I'm recording with a software called OBS, which is a bit intensive. I also have something running in CapCut. So for my processor to be at 66%, I understand. So let's come back to our video here. Maybe let's come back to here. Now, if we look at the video that we are having, okay, if we look at the laptop we are having in front of us, the hard disk is the problem, as we have been able to tell, because up to now, actually, the hard disk is still going at 100%. You can see. And now, the problem with the hard disk, and this is what I'm going to elaborate here. When you're using a hard disk, you expect this to happen because hard disks are not as fast as SSDs. And I'll explain why this is the case. Hard disks have some locomotive or platters that spin inside. This is an opened hard disk that I have opened. You understand that spinning this disk here requires some energy and requires also some power to, let me mark somewhere so that you can see. Let me say one here. I don't know whether you know that they are very, let me put that mark there so you can see when so the disk spins like this so that you can to read information from there. And this sheath here is the one that comes here to read the data here. So hard disk, in short, there's a rotation happening inside here, and the rotation is going to bring some inefficiency in your laptop because this requires energy, and for memory to be created, this hard disk has to run at a very high speed, and then the readers, the one you can see here, they will come on top of this hard disk to try and take your data or to read your data. And that's why the hard disk is a bit slow than the SSD. An SSD is just like a flash disk, so the memory is already ready. The memory is ready, and so when you give the computer an action or maybe a command, it will just come directly to the memory like the flash disk, take the command and it's back. So it's a bit quick, it's a bit fast than the hard disk, which will wait for your hard disk to spin at a very high speed and also produce a lot of heat actually, because more energy is needed to spin this disk you see here. And also the machine is going to overheat. For those people who are using hard disk, sometimes you take out your hard disk and it's very hot because it's overspinning for data to be scooped from this disk here. But for the SSD, you can see it's just a memory insert in your motherboard and everything is quick. So in this case, this laptop is utilizing a hard disk. We saw that the processor is okay and the RAM is okay, but the hard disk is struggling to do its work. So what are the solution now to this laptop? For me, we need to upgrade this laptop from hard disk to SSD, and we need also to put a new operating system because we will back up the files for the customer and try to have those files transferred to the new SSD that we are going to put in this laptop, and so that the customer can continue enjoying the speed from the SSD and from a well managed computer. Because remember, there's a saying that always goes, garbage in, garbage out. Now, we are not going to say that the customer is having garbage on his laptops. Of course, that is not what we are saying. But you can see our customer has been saving the files on the local disk C. Anytime you're saving a file here on this Windows, on this desktop here, you're saving it in your local disk, the local disk C. And so I always recommend that people should partition their disks. According to me, I like to maybe to advise people to partition their disks so that you can have your files in local disk D and leave the local disk C for operatings that are happening with the Windows and the software that you are running in your laptop. Let local disk C only maintain those. And if you are having your files like the pictures, the document from the work and everything, let them go to local disk D. So that's always very important when you're installing an operating system, to have two partitions in your disk. The one that is going to be on the window, the local disk C, like in this case here, our laptop has gone. So let me try to use another view because I don't like this kind of view, because I like tiles, because I'm going to see like, I don't know about you, but I like this kind of view here. This one, you see, we have the local disk C. This is the Windows here, Windows C, that one I call the local disk C, and the new volume D. You can see, so the customer actually is even having a new volume D. But now a lot of people would say, because I want to access files very easily, I'll just come and put the files on my desktop here and I'll access them very quickly and very immediately without having to have a lot of stress. But in the long run, this is not very healthy for your computer, because with time what I'm trying to say, in the long run, data is saved to different region on the hard disk. Let us try to remember that. And the data will get spread out over time. And when the data is spread out over the time on the hard disk, or it becomes a very difficult job for your laptop to spot where the files are, because the data with time it will get spread over the hard disk, and maybe trying to get like a file, like a picture or maybe a document that you want to use, your computer will start struggling and going a very far distance to get that file, because now files are no longer arranged the way they are supposed to be in the local disk C. And so that is like to say, maybe you want to go to the living room and you are from kitchen. Okay, like you want to come from kitchen to go to the living room, but there's a back door through the kitchen and there's a front door in the house. So for you to access the living room and you're in the kitchen, you can go the longer route of going through the back door of the kitchen and then going all around the house to come and access the living room. But you see, that is the longer way to go. You can use the shorter way to just come from the kitchen, just inside the house, and come directly to the living room. That is going to save your time and your energy. The same way with the computer. A file that you want to access now, because the files have not been arranged very well in your hard disk and they are spread all over, the computer will take a lot of time to find that file, because the files are not being arranged the way they are supposed to do. And especially I discourage this to put files on your desktop here, because you are going to confuse the operating system. When you want some files, it's going to take longer for you to get those files, because you have the concept you have just talked about, the garbage in, garbage out. And so that is one of the things that we can try to correct as we are trying to work with this laptop. So the other thing you can do, you can also try to speed up the hard disk by something we call defragmentation. How can you do a defragmentation? Let me maybe come here and type, I'm touching this window button here. I don't know whether you can see it. This window button here. This is the one I'm touching. You see this one? You see? That one. And then just come and type a defrag. I don't know whether you're going to get that. Is it typing anything? Remember, this machine is very slow. Defrag. Okay, it's not even responding because it's still, you see? Now it's responding after some time, because you saw the hard disk is trying to struggle to get files, the relevant files, so that the machine can work comfortably. But this is proving to be very hard. So I don't know whether I'm going to succeed on this one. Okay, I'll use mine because this one is a bit slow. So if you want to defragment, so remember we said you can also come here on this and maybe say defragment. You can see this one here, defragment and optimize drives. You can come here and click on this local disk C and come here and say optimize. You can see trimmed 0. You can come on local disk D and also say optimize. Trimmed to 48%, 50%, 72%, 80%, and it's okay. So the other thing you can do, you can come here and open local disk on my computer, this PC, the way I'm doing here, this PC, and then come to local disk C. You can right click and go to properties and do some disk cleanup. This one here, you can come here and try to say, click all these files here, click all of them here, so that you can clear. You can clean from temporary file, recycle bins, thumbnails. If you have files that you want in the recycle bin, please uncheck. If you have not, you are not sure you want to delete some files, but if you're sure you want to empty the recycle bin, you can check that one. Also come clean up system files. Yeah, this one calculating, and this one will clean your disk, and you can see Windows update cleanups. Those files that are not relevant, those ones that machine does not really require for. And guys, you can see here, total amount of disk space you gain, it's 15.2 GB. That is like a whole flash disk. You remember that? That is like a whole flash disk. You can see I've also not cleaned my local disk C for some time, and the 15.2 GBs are going to be a lot of GB too. So maybe let me say I don't want to delete something in the recycle bin. You can see this is changing to 9.98 GB. But let me say maybe recycle bin 15.2. So I have so many files that I have not wrapped in there. I have not deleted in the recycle bin. This is what is. So because I don't want to delete what is in the recycle bin, because I know I have some files there that I'm not quite sure of whether I want to delete them or not. I'll first of all uncheck, but you can see the space that I'm going to gain is 9.98 GB, and I can say okay, and then delete those files so that I can try to ease some space on my hard disk. So those are the few tactics that you can use to ease your hard disk or the SSD. So the other things that you can try to do to ease your problem with your computer running slowly is you identify the software that are taking a lot of your resource from your computer. There are applications that are resource intensive. They are called resource intensive applications. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So let me come back to the camera mode. Yeah, so resource intensive applications, and I think I'll also, okay, I want to show you that, so I'll have to go back there. So resource intensive applications, how do you look for these ones? So those ones, you can come to the taskbar here, go to the task manager. Let us maximize. This is where you are from. Look at my CPU is operating at 100% now because I've given it a lot of work. It's 97 now, because we have a CapCut and a video that is going under the CapCut. I'm on OBS, and also now I'm in other few applications that I have opened. So what you can do here, you can come here on these processes here, and you can see, look here on my computer here, you can see the OBS here is being rated by my CPU, by my computer, very high. The GPU is very busy. Everything, the 37 of my, look, 99 of my CPU is being utilized, 44 of my memory, and 40% of my GPU. And this one is taking very high power usage. Sorry. And here, power usage per impact on power consumption over time. Power consumption over time. You can see very high, and here it's high. So it's an intensive software, and this one is taking most of my. So here you are going to get all the sorry, here you are going to get all the applications that are utilizing your laptop, and you are going to get how they are utilizing your laptop. Like you can see on my OBS, 64% of my CPU is being utilized by the OBS, and the other ones, you'll come here and see very low, very low. So in this place, you are going to get those softwares that are making, or those applications that are making a machine to be a bit slow. So I think we are clear on that. The other thing that we need to check when you are working online, like you are working online, let me say, like you are having a browser, like for instance here, the Mozilla. Let me open my Mozilla here. So you'll find that you may be using the outdated version of a Mozilla. And how do you know about this? I think you can come here to settings. You can come here to settings. I don't know whether this one. And there's a way you can find out the version of Mozilla you are using. A Firefox support, extension and themes, more from Mozilla. Okay, I think there's a page about the about, help, more tools, print something. Okay, I don't know. Where is this one? Okay, let me come here, more from Mozilla. So Firefox support, preferences, yeah, version. You can see customize this Firefox version 129. This is on Windows 10. So try to Google which version of Mozilla is the current one. And if you are having a bit later version, like you can see my version here is 129, you can try to update to the latest version so that you can have a quite a faster machine than it is. So update to the most recent version of browser, and that one is also going to help you. There's something also we called add-ons and extensions are also sources of sources of making your computer to slow down. Disable or delete any extension that aren't needed. The add-ons are somewhere here. The add-on, the extensions, you can see this part here. You can come here and try to see these that are not very important here, and you can remove whatever you want to remove there. The one that is not very helpful to you, you can remove those ones. And so we have talked about to optimize and defrag the hard disk, or because over time data gets spread out and the machine start. There's also to scan the harmful softwares and malwares. We have software like the cyber security threats, such as malware that try to slow down your machine. Those one you can also try to get a very good antivirus and work on those issues. Try to protect your machine. So let me come back to where I'm supposed. So you can always invest in a very good antivirus to try and curb the issue of the malware that come to attack your machine here. I think my machine is not, it did not go off. It's just that it went in. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. The malicious software works by using computer resources and corrupting your files in your computer. And if you're not careful, the malware softwares are going to take over your computer. And maybe the only way you can regain back the computer is by formatting the hard disk and losing all your data. That's why it is very important to invest in a very good antivirus for your laptop. So that one is also crucial. So update insufficient hardware, like maybe you are in 21st century, it's not about century actually, in today's world, and you are using a very old processor, a very old machine that is not even compatible with the current software that are being offered in the market, because the software are always there online. So the things you may try to do here is try to update that machine, maybe try to get a newer processor, try to get a machine that is a bit later, because you can see now we are not even utilizing Windows 7. It's all over, it's out of support. Windows 10 is still working, and now we have Windows 11, and the technology is changing at a very high speed. So when you're utilizing very old laptop, you might face some challenges by laptop being a bit slow. So try to make sure that you have later generations of CPU and later generations of laptops, so that you can continue enjoying the speed of the internet. So you can check the generation. I don't know whether it's good we check the generation here of maybe the laptop I'm using right now. So it's still cleaning the hard disk. We try to check the generation of that one. So we can go back to, you can also check by typing. You come here to this one. You can come here to this window button and click there, and come here and type RUN, go to run, and type, I'll type again so that you can do it together, DXDIAG, as I'm doing right here, and you click OK. Okay, let's wait for the pop-up box, the pop-up dialog box to come. Okay, so it's here. So you can see I'm running a Core i5. It's not quite a very heavy machine. As you can see, it's an Core i5 7th generation. It's a 2.5 gigahertz for CPUs and also 2.7 gigahertz here. It's a 16 GB gigs of RAM, and it's a NESA. So you can always come here to try to check the specs that your laptop is utilizing. So the a 7th generation is not quite bad, because here in Africa now we are having the 10th gen, 8th gen, and they are very new. They are very new actually. 8th generation, 10th generation, 12th generation, I think they are not as much, but we are here at least the major ones are 8th gen. They are quite many. And so if you are the kind of guy that maybe are utilizing the recording like me, you can come here to render. This is the dedicated NVIDIA GeForce. Here you can see NVIDIA GeForce 940MX. It's working fine for me, but very soon I'll have to upgrade this machine to a better version of an NVIDIA GeForce, maybe 1080 or 1060i, something like that, something better. And you can still use the internal memory here. As we can see, there is around 8 GB, 8 GB, 8 gigs of 8 gigs of 8 GB, or what do I say, 8 gigs of graphics card, the internal graphics card, and the dedicated, I can see I am having like 2 gigs of dedicated NVIDIA GeForce 940 MX. So that is also another thing you need to do. So upgrade processing power. That is, if you're having a desktop, unfortunately for most laptops today, you are not able to upgrade the CPU because it's soldered on the motherboard, is integrated with the motherboard. But for the CPU, you can upgrade. You can remove a processor and put something that is a bit higher. And more powerful CPU will make your machine run faster. And consider also upgrading to a newer device. The other thing you may try to do is adequate RAM to perform well. Increase the RAM. Try maybe your 4 GB. This machine, maybe I can increase it to 8 GB RAM, and maybe 8 or 16 or 12. You can do whenever. You can put a stick, one stick of 8 GB and another one of 4, something totaling up to 12 GB. The other thing we can also do is try to increase the, we can try to work on the SSD, maybe remove the hard disk and try to work with the SSD to see whether this machine is going to be a bit faster. You understand what I'm saying? So those are the few things that you may do to make sure that your machine is working fine. And SSD is faster, is more reliable. It doesn't have locomotive parts inside like we saw on the case of the hard disk. You can see the SSD and the hard disk here. Remember we talked about this locomotive part. Those, this one are not very fast. They are not reliable because of the spinning disk here. This one is a bit fast, and also the 2.5 SSD that looks with like the hard disk, but inside we don't have locomotive parts. We only have memories. Yeah, so I think with those you can be able to have a machine that is working very well, a machine that is working very fine, and you can have your system fast. So I wanted to talk about that because I'm having a lot of questions from very many people. Hey, I get a lot of job here, software. These are things that I think people should do them in your house. Try to do them on yourself, because you can also save a coin or two, because also coming to us, definitely we're going to charge you something because we invested time, and that time we are supposed maybe to be working on other serious jobs. So I'm not expecting somebody to come with, maybe you can come, I sell the RAM for you, I upgrade for a RAM for you, maybe for that one you can come. But some other stuff, they are a bit easy, you can do yourself inside the house, so you don't have to. And so that's why I made this video today, so that I can show you that this is going to happen. So maybe the other thing that I'm going to do, maybe I'll try to upgrade this laptop to a bigger RAM, and also take it from hard disk to SSD. Right now is utilizing this type of hard disk, this one that is a bit is slow, is power consuming, is insufficient, and also not very reliable, because memory is created by this disk spinning, and maybe this stuff start grabbing data from the disk. But this one is very efficient because it's just a memory. So we have talked about all that, guys. So I hope, guys, this video was very helpful to you. It was able to answer so many questions about why your laptop is slow, your Windows 10, your Windows 11. Also for the Mac, guys, this is something that will help you to upgrade your laptop to a better version. So I hope I've touched on so many areas that can help you guys upgrade your machine. As usual, guys, remember to subscribe, remember to like, and remember to share. I'm grateful for the guys who have been subscribed to this channel. And if you have not, what are you waiting for? You have more for you, more information for you, more powerful information regarding the laptops, regarding the phones, regarding the technology that is coming in. We'll start also doing some reviews for the laptops, the iPhones. I'll start reviewing some iPhones here, the laptops. And please, guys, stay tuned, subscribe, so that each and every time I upload a video, you'll get a notification. And also like, share to support the work. Thank you, guys, and let's meet in the next video. Thank you.